Hey everybody. So I went out to Meadowbrook Golf Course. They have a remodel going on. I wanted to see how it was going. When I got there, I noticed the clubhouse was pretty much the same, unchanged. There's a putting green and a chipping green now. This is where the old putting green was, and it looks like they have a chipping and a bunker area, and then a very large putting green by the first tee. Now, the first tee is where the old 9 green used to be, so you're going backwards down 9. So here's the first tee right off the putting green. All the greens are covered right now, so I wish I could get better views of the greens, but they were covered up. So it looks like tee shot's going to land you short of this bunker, so you're going to have about this angle for your second. A layup would put you somewhere around these rocks, and then your approach a good bit downhill to the green. That's where the old 7 fairway was. So again, old 7 fairway, and we have a par 3, 175. It's got dual tee boxes. You'll see that over at Rockwood as well. They have a dual tee box on number 5 on Rockwood. Number 3 is a good par 4, trouble right, obviously hazard in front, but it's a mid-length hole, so a good wedge or 9-iron probably in for your second. These are 2 of the holes that are pretty much original from the original design. They've added some bunkering. This tee ball is going to put you somewhere around that sand trap, so your second's going to leave you, call it 120, 130 into the hole, slightly elevated. So that's always been a really good hole from the original design. This one's quite different. So this is back uphill towards, I think, the old 6 green. And this is a good little par 3. I think it's a good bit uphill. I think a lot of people are going to come up short here, and obviously miss right is trouble. So this is the long par 5 of the course at 580. That's the tee. Anywhere around those bunkers is a really good tee shot. Probably try to stay left of it. That's going to leave you this angle, which you could advance it, but you can't even see the green really from right here. Over that hill gives you this angle, which is, probably leaving you somewhere around 120, 130, but look at that green. Anything right is trouble, right? You got OB left, OB long, and that green. So from 580, this is a really tough one to reach into. That is a great golf hole. 7, it's a really good uphill par 4. Obviously, if you're coming back into the wind, this is tough. Over that bunker to the left is trouble. So you want to stay a little right. Ball's going to be above your feet though, and you're hitting to a very protected green. So that's the angle looking back. It's a good golf hole. I'm really loving the layout so far. This one's kind of reminds me of number 8 at Rockwood, to be honest with you. Elevated downhill. This one's 190 though. 9 back up the hill. Great, just kind of straight away, good bunkering that frames the hole. That should leave you kind of a mid-iron, mid to short, coming back up to the front. So I think a lot of these uphill holes play back into the prevailing wind. So this is an elevated green. 10. Okay. OB right. Not really any trouble left. This is pretty much the same layout. They cleared some trees out. It looks way better, especially near the green. There were a lot of trees down there that just seemed to, I don't want to say trash trees, but they weren't good trees, and they cleared all of those out. This is a good little par 3. So there's a par 3 for 11 before. It used to be where that tree is right now in the middle of the screen. They've moved the tee to almost the other side of the pond, and then the green to the other side of that. So this is a really fun look. This is 12, so this is one of the other par 5s. You want to land just left of that bunker you see, so kind of center your screen. The tips are way back from this. So I stood back on the tips, and I couldn't even really get a camera angle, so I had to film it from the forward tee. From the tips, you're completely blocked out. You have to hit in between the trees. That's going to leave you somewhere around this range. Call it 250 to 225 with a hazard in front, greens tucked around the corner. And you'll see when you get up there, it looks like the green actually runs away. So that's the view from the green back. It looks like the green actually runs away in the back right corner away. So any long, 3 woods long irons coming in, you're going to have a tough time stopping those. Here's the original split fairway. Unless you really have trouble carrying the ball, say 225 or more, you're probably going to go left. It's not that long of a carry to get to this left fairway. That's going to leave you a pretty short wedge into the green. Again, elevated, you don't want to miss right. Anything right is trouble. This green, that bunkering, it's not a long hole, but it seems pretty well protected, and it's a good one. It should be fun. Okay, so this is a pretty good uphill. So 225 uphill into the fan, par three. So this is one of the longer ones. They've got a lot of par threes on this course. It's a par 70. All right, so good place to film one of those break 50 episodes. So uphill par three, you can see the elevation change. I wouldn't be surprised if we have gas golf carts here, folks. This is really, really steep. 15 is supposed to be a split fairway. I'm not sure where the split's coming in. I think they might fill some of that with water out there, and they just haven't done it yet. Here's the green complex. Again, it's kind of tough to tell right now with some of it, with the way that the greens have been covered, and obviously they're still doing work. But it looks like they may be adding some water or hazards into some of this, and I just can't see it yet. This is the next 16 par 3, so you can see there's water in front there. It's a good length par 3. Again, some of that water's there. I think they're adding some more around the course, and they're not done yet. 17, okay, see that bunker in the middle? This is a really great hole. The fairway turns, obviously you got dogleg right, trouble right. That bunker is well positioned in the middle, and again, if you hit it out there 250, you got 250, but it's uphill, carrying a creek, trouble right. It's a good risk reward. You can lay up, or you could try to go for it. But if you go for it, the chip may be harder than whatever shot you'd have at 100 yards out. And the last hole, 18. This is a beast. So from the backs, playing 460 uphill, again, most likely into the wind. The way this hole breaks out, I'd be surprised if you make it to that bunker right there. I tried to stay on the cart path and not get out there on the course itself. But it seems very likely from where that green is right there that hitting uphill, and if there's a little bit of breeze into you, you may not even be able to see the green on your second shot. You could very well be around 200 or so or more uphill blind into the wind. So this is it's a good golf hole. This is Meadowbrook. I'm really excited. Fort Worth has done a good job with Rockwood and now Meadowbrook. So if you like this, be sure to press like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.